Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. This version is retold by Peter Clover and illustrated by Carls Arbat. Jim Hawkins was a feisty boy with a brave heart that was jumping for adventure. Every day, Jim helped his mother at the Admiral Benbow Inn. It hugged the rocky shore of a cold, windswept cove. The inn was so close to the ocean that on stormy nights, sea spray flung over the rooftop and peppered the windows. And that's the Benbow Inn right there, right on that cliff edge. One morning, an old seaman with a long scar on his cheek dragged a wooden chest up to the inn's front door. 15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum, he sang. I need a room, roared the sailor. Jim ran to fetch his mother and help the new visitor haul his wooden chest up the stairs. And there we go. The miserable old sea dog was not very friendly. He insisted on being called Captain, and every day he walked the cliffs, peering through a brass telescope. It looked as if he was expecting someone. Several days later, someone did appear. It was a blind beggar named Pew, who came tap, tap, tapping his way to the inn. He demanded to see the captain. Pew reached for the captain's hand and planted the black spot, a pirate curse, on the captain's palm. The next day, the captain died. Jim called his mother, and together they opened the captain's wooden chest. Inside, they found a pair of smelly boots, a few doubloons, and a wrinkled map. It's a treasure map, said Jim. He jumped up and took the map to Squire Trelawney. Squire Trelawney examined the map with care. Jim, you and I will find this treasure together. Trelawney hired Captain Smollett and a fine ship called the Hispaniola. And you, Jim Hawkins, he said, shall be our cabin boy. Next, Squire Trelawney hired a crew of the toughest looking sea dogs imaginable, including a cook named Long John Silver, who had a wooden leg. When they set sail, Jim helped Long John Silver in the kitchen. Long John took a liking to young Jim and began telling him wonderful stories of his adventures on the open seas. There they are getting on the boat, and there they are working in the kitchen. Weeks passed. One day, Jim went up on deck to get an apple. Suddenly, he heard a sinister voice. Jim hid himself. It was Long John Silver, whispering plans for mutiny. Now, stop there for a sec. Do you know what mutiny is? Mutiny is when the crew aren't happy with the captain, and so they make secret plans to take over the ship and make sure that the captain can't be in control anymore. That's right. It's not very good for the captain. But let's continue. When we reach Treasure Island, we shall take over the ship and rid of Captain Smollett. Arr! We'll take the rest as prisoners and dig up that treasure for ourselves. Jim's heart sank. Long John Silver was a pirate. As soon as the pirates left, Jim ran straight to Squire Trelawney and told him what he had just heard. Squire Trelawney and Captain Smollett decided to wait till they reached Treasure Island to make their move. Now I'll stop there right in the middle, and I think we'll pick that up in our next video.